everybody, it's Holly and Carey from the Urban Homesteader. Today we did a hive check. And finally, the sun is out.
I know, it's not raining, it's nice, and
Oh,
I'm sweating.
I know, we're both a little warm. We kind of overdressed underneath our suits, but it's Minnesota and you don't know. You just don't know. So we just did the hive check. You may be able to see some, they look like they're almost bearding, but they're not bearding because it's not hot enough for that. But anyway, they're kind of irritated, which I find kind of annoying because we were here, all we did was feed them and they're mad at us, but I get it.
We intruded on their home.
We did, but this is what we got to do. So this is week 3. Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
I can't really either. So today what we did was we just were looking for kind of levels of the sugar syrup, and some of you had asked me about what is sugar syrup, and it's real easy. The spring version of sugar syrup is sugar and water. And it's 1-to-1 parts, and this is what you do in the spring is what you feed them because there's not enough food for them to eat. But on the way out here, which I have a little side story about the way out here, I just saw my first dandelions, but Carey, you said that you've seen them.
They've been out for a couple of days now.
Which is great news, because that just means the less sugar, water, and pollen patties we have to continue to feed them. Once the flowers are out, they'll be on their own and much happier,
Well,
I
and tell them
imagine.
what you saw when we took the...
Yeah, so I saw one bee with some pollen pants, which is super exciting. That means that they are finding it somewhere. It's got to be like a hidden out there somewhere. I have no idea where they'd be getting it. But that's a really good sign that they are out and about and collecting and doing what bees do. So great first sign. So some of you in my free time had some really great questions, and some of the questions were very candid, mostly coming from friends of mine and whomever may have seen videos in the past, but people are really interested in beekeeping. And I'm pretty much a rookie, but I feel like I try to be educated enough. Like, I know next week we're going to be pulling frames and looking for probably queen cells and swarm cells. We can talk about that next week. But anyway, my point is that some of you had some really great questions, and I wrote some down for Carey to ask me to see if I could answer them, and also to give Carey an opportunity to share her knowledge as well. What's the first question on the list?
Where do they come from?
Where did the bees come from? Yep. So some people were wondering about, like, where did the bees actually come from, and then how did I transport them here? So these bees are California bees, and I can understand why they might have been a little irritated, because it was cold for the last 3 weeks if they came from California. I have no idea what the weather was like there, but had to have been warmer than it is here. Anyway, they are ground transported, basically in big semis or flatbeds. I'm not actually sure, but they're ground transported. I do know that, to Minnesota. And then, so I belong to a bee club, and I was able to order my bees through the bee club. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but you can also go to just like a bee supplier. There are actually stores around, they're all over the state, right?
Yeah.
Where have you gotten yours from?
The biggest one is Man Lake up in Hackensack.
Okay, and then I know that there's one, like last year, my group of friends that I was beekeeping with, they ordered from Delano.
Yeah.
So anyway, they can, wherever you want to find them. I thought that the bee club was a really great resource, and the reason is because of cost. Is that the next question? Or one of them? It's on there, right?
Yes, how much did they cost?
How much do they cost? So I get that question a lot. And it kind of depends. There's not really a definite answer on that. So last year when I went through Delano and ordered the bees, I ordered nukes, which are basically like mini hives. They come with 4 frames on them, and there's already brood in there. They're kind of already established, whereas this year we bought those packages, and it's just different. So you saw that we dumped those bees into these hives, and that, they're not, it was kind of like, here's your new home, figure it out. Whereas the nukes already have their home, you just slide the frames in. So the difference is a price and kind of process. So the price of a nuke is going to be a little bit more just because they're already established, and they need actually less time to start making honey. These guys have to work a little bit harder because they're first figuring out their house, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So as far as price goes, last year I want to say the nukes I paid about $200 per nuke. And I went in halfsies with my other friends, and that I was fine because my first year ever doing it. This year, Carey and I, like I said, got the packages, and because we went through that bee club, they were $113 for a 2-pound package, which is a steal.
It's very good. Yes.
So thankful for the bee club that I'm in, because I think that made all the difference. I think if you and I would have gone to some supplier, I don't know what a package through Man Lake or Delano would have cost.
All I know is when I started this, I think it was like maybe 9-10 years ago, they were like $83, and they're not like that anymore.
Nothing is.
New. No.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it just kind of depends on what you get and how many. The next question, I think.
What are you looking for in a hive check?
Okay, so we did a hive check today. We were basically just looking for feed. Like how low were they on the sugar syrup and the pollen patties. So we replenished that today. And they were low on the sugar syrup, and the pollen patties were also kind of more than half gone. I would say 80% gone. And then the sugar cakes, well, they were hungry enough that they were eating the paper.
I think the paper was in their way. I really honestly
Sure,
do.
that could be, but that's
Yeah.
whatever, no big
Yeah.
deal.
No.
So we did not replenish the sugar cakes, but we did the pollen patties and the sugar syrup. And Carey does not have sugar syrup in her hives. I do in mine.
Not these two here.
But you do it the one.
I do it the other one.
Okay, okay. See, it's just a matter of what you feel like doing. Okay, what's another question?
You've got week 1, food level,
Yep.
eggs.
Oh yeah, so next week we'll probably start looking for, we'll pull out a frame and we'll start looking a little more closely for eggs. Like we pulled out a couple frames today, but you noticed actually right away, like one of her hives right away was all new comb,
All new comb.
which is also a really, really good sign.
Yeah.
I think these hives are just killing it.
Yeah.
They're doing a
I do
great
too.
job.
I really do.
And we're still suited up because, I don't know
Mad
if you,
still.
they're a little mad. They're a little ticked off, but I wanted to do this in front of the hive so that you guys could kind of understand what we have to go through too.
Let's see.
What else you got on there?
New comb. Oh, nectar.
Yep, those are
Stored pollen.
those are all the things that they'll be trying to
that's-
collect.
That's it.
Okay.
Hive check every 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, so it's kind of recommended that you run out here and check these guys every week or so. It just kind of works out for us. Our schedules are a little nutty, but it happens to be like just the weekends. It just
Yeah.
works out the best
Yeah.
for us to come out here. So it has been 7 days since we were at last out here, but you've been checking them now and again.
Oh yeah, I come
Once
out
in a
here and
while.
look.
Yeah,
I don't open the boxes or anything.
you probably chat with them and see
I
how they're
do.
doing. Yeah, I get it. I do have another thought. I haven't shared this. I know, right? Don't be nervous. So this hasn't been my first time checking either, but we didn't really suit up last time.
No.
It's just too cold. I just kind of want to see what they were doing. But this time, so I knew that we would be suiting up in full. I have a recommendation for anybody with long hair, man or woman, doesn't matter. Pin your hair back, because these things zip here, and I mean, I don't know how many times I've caught my hair in the zipper. It is not worth it.
Yeah.
A bee sting hurts less than the hair getting caught in the zipper, so just tie your hair back. That is my one fashion tip for beekeeping.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to leave these guys and gals alone. They should be happy as can be. Right now they're fed, the sun's out. You had noticed that all of your fruit trees, Carey's got a ton of fruit trees, and they're all starting to pop.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know how much longer we're going to have to worry about feeding them.
I don't know. Well, and the thing is the trees behind us, I don't know what kind these are. They're kind of scrub, but you can see the pollen just hanging off of them, so
That's great too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they're butternut trees. I don't know.
And then the horses are always greeting us. We had a sandhill crane fly around. I mean, it's just so wonderful here.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
So, I just want to tell everybody how much I'm appreciating all of the things that I get to do, especially with her. So, okay. So we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also if you guys have more questions, please post them in the comments, because I actually am really interested to know what you're interested in. It's these conversations that I've had with friends along the way has just been interesting. Like I don't know what you guys find fascinating, but I certainly want to share it with people. It's super interesting to know what everyone else is wondering about.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, that's it for today, you guys. We will see you next time.